Blitzers, it's Ronan. Welcome back to the channel. We got a couple of replays today. First is by Fated in the Defender MK1 in Castilla. The second is actually by yours truly, Ronan, driving the gigantic and monstrous Kranvagn. But let's get into this game with Fated, aka Justin, who is a terrific player, and I'm excited to feature him on the channel. I'll spoiler alert, this ends poorly, and it ends poorly because of a ping issue, a lag issue in the game. So it's a heartbreaker. I think Fated got pretty down after this one, but I wanted to play it because he played it so damn well that it deserved watching, even though it ended in the way it did. So we're in Castilla, and Fated and his colleague here and the mediums are doing what they're supposed to do of going to the castle or church side of the map and quickly find themselves some players. Fated is playing the MK fairly aggressively, which I love because this tank can bounce shots on its turret all day long, and it's got a 4-clip that does a lot of damage. And if you play it right, you push when you need to, you can just kick the crap out of people with this tank. It is a great tank. One I honestly need to play more with mine, and I believe it is in the stores right now in some capacity, maybe through some crate system they have going on or something, maybe available for purchase. I don't remember. If you don't have this tank, I think it's the best defender, so I strongly encourage you to purchase it. Unless it's in crates, I wouldn't crate your way to it, unless you're Darth Bane. All right, so we've got ourselves kind of right now. It's a 7-on-6. Fated and his team did a nice job clearing that first player. Unfortunately, the heavies and the rest of the team have pushed up onto them, which is actually great given their positions here, theoretically, because the castle is got a lot of places you can go haul down. As you see Fated doing, he is hauled down because of the slope of the hill, and he does take a shot there, and what he's trying to do is get out and finish reloading his clip on that. I think it's the bulldog there. But he's got a great position, and he's just set, he's set and ready to farm. All these guys think that I guess they have buildings for cover, but they really don't, because you can get shot from too many places. That's why you don't rush the castle here. It's a really bad idea. You either go all in on it from the beginning or you wait. However, Fated's teammates, what they did, the mistake they made, is they got too low and they pushed back. All they needed to do was go where Fated did here, and they could have just picked them, sniped them apart. It would have been a runaway. But you see those guys are too low. You can look at the minimap and they're just too low down and letting the enemies use their advantage, which is they have buildings and cover. And they're also huddled together. All three of them that are left, essentially, except for Fated and his teammate, are huddled together there, so they're not getting better shots. So as you see, they're just bleeding heavily. There's also the hippo, the 100p, is behind them. So Fated and his RU teammate, 251 there, are realizing that they have a better position on this 100p, and also that the 100p had flanked the entire team and killed, I think, the entire team. So they're trying to figure out what to do here. It's now, and you saw a little glitch there, and here it comes. And I think, Fated is in Texas, and this happened. Texas is still experiencing lots of issues with power. Who knows if that's related to it or not. One mistake I think his teammate made here is jumping down there. I wouldn't have done that. He could have gone to some other places. I mean, he could definitely COD this tank, but the problem is they have 4 others, and as you see, he's starting to bleed massively because of the others. And CODs only work when you know where the other enemy is and you can get away from them. The other thing that you see with the MK1 that Justin is pointing out here is just how good the pen is. The pen values of this is much like the Centurion, and it is just fantastic. You can pen heavies with AP all day long. Well, so Fated found himself a 1 versus 5. I mean, this is almost unwinnable. I mean, you see a 1 versus 5 wins, sure, but they're very unlikely. I will tell you, this would have been a win. It would have been a win. And you see it, look at the turret of the MK1. He just bounced like 1,000 damage. It does take a hit there. I will tell you, the upper glacis of the MK1 is its flaw. It does not have a strong upper glacis. It can get penned very, very easily by pretty much anybody. So that's one of the. It's not it's not like it's impervious to bullets here. Just the turret is fantastic. So the 1-on-5 continues here, but what you see is he's gotten them just nearly all to one-shots, and he gets to work here. There's the M4. I think that's the Chinese bulldog that just recently came out. Fated dispatches with him, and he goes down here to this great position because he can actually force them to kind of funnel in here. It's a brilliant move by Fated. He's got 350 hit points. That's the biggest challenge. So for him to clear these guys, he's got to really be careful not to bleed any further. And he manages to right there clear the 100p, and he then gets to work on this last player there, the Type 62. Not the last player, the last player that's pushing on him. Unfortunately, the other team starts capping, and I say unfortunately, it's actually great because Fated could have hopefully pushed on the Type 62 or found a way to win. And I think this is part of the challenge when you have a 1 versus 5. You can't bleed, and this Type 62 did all that you needed to do, which is distract Fated, keep him from rushing the cap, and not let him die, not let him kill him. And so the cap continues, and Fated is desperately trying to figure out here, how to kill the Type 62 without taking too much damage and stop the cap. I mean, that's basically your prerogative there. Knowing that pretty much everybody here is a one shot, and he's got 4 shots. I mean, he could do this. I mean, he really could. And again, you see the lag there. It's coming. The clock is ticking. So they got 2 in cap just with how quickly that is climbing, I believe. Although it could be 1. It's hard to tell. And Fated is desperately trying to figure out, how do I get up there, stop the cap, and keep the killing. There's plenty of, they're also running out of time in the game. There's only 25 seconds left. So the clock is nearly there. It's really, really close. 88 versus 17. So he could have stopped this. And then he is just trying to see what's going on, and he goes crazy. It just goes nuts. He disappears and melts into a building. And this is what happens if you guys have ever lagged out. This is how it looks. So, boom, game's over. The clock runs out. I think the clock did run out before. Did it? No, I guess they got the cap. I think that was just a glitch in the game as well, and that is it. So it's a loss. 4,097 damage, 3 kills. He had those other guys. I mean, those guys were gone. Just needed the time. So Justin, I know that was a hard one, but a great win. Next one is in Middleburg. It's myself platooning with Lek, and I am in the Kranvagn Nord. And this tank is it's so much better than I realized initially. I think a lot of people, including Gent, Sig, and others, have been touting its awesomeness for a while. I needed this game and probably some others to really get me there. It is a terrific combination of an auto reloader with a tank that's got a great turret, good armor overall, honestly. And you got a 3-shot autoloader. The reload is brutal in the tank. And it's got a great cannon too. I mean, look at that shot on the K91 there. So we went to the top of Middleburg here to have some fun. This was a really weird game. I don't even know what to do with it. What you quickly notice here, there's only 2 guys up here. Lek and I assumed the rest of the team was up here. I mean, what else could they be? It's a tier 10 match. You assumed that. So Lek wanted to go, was poking over there, and I said, go, let's do it, thinking that we're going to flank their entire team right now. And we did. And there's the STB1. I bounce a shot, get a shot into him. Lek's shooting him. I felt like we were in great shape. I do take a hit there. I'm not even sure from whom, but all good. Clear the STB1. And quickly, there's a player from Beta here in the FB215B that is about to push Lek, which I thought was fine too, because Lek could run away into the town and come back. Unfortunately, the weirdness, I mean, and there's the guy from Beta there. And he gets cleared. So, I mean, it actually worked like a perfect trap. Only problem was their 2 big pigs, their 2 Jaegeroos were down in town right there. I don't think I've ever seen that. So Lek gets absolutely demolished by 2 Jaegeroos. And I really attribute that. It's my fault. I told him to go as well. So it was kind of unfortunate. So I realized quickly that, unfortunately, Lek can't carry me again, and I'm going to have to actually play this one. I'm sitting here trying to get shots into their IS-4 while my IS-4 is rubbing against me for absolutely no reason. I needed to make this crossover because I couldn't get enough shots into them, and I wanted that hill right here with a Kranvagn. Did find myself a waffle. I saw him earlier, knew he was over here. Waffles are always tasty in the morning, so that was fun. And then I had one of our teammates go finish him. You can see their players were not great. They could have pushed us pretty hard at that point, myself and our IS-4, and they chose not to. I don't know what they were thinking. And what that does is it gives this Kranvagn, time to reload, and that's what it needs. It needs time to reload. It's got horrific reload, and I think that That's the balance of this tank. If it had faster clip reload, and that was a terrible shot. I don't know what the hell I was thinking there. So, you know, right now, 4-on-4, things are just kind of weird in this one. The T92E1 is over on that side. I decided to go help him. We have a Jaegeru on our side and the IS-4 who are just kind of sitting there. But we have the up position, and things should have gone well there. Of course, that T92 was just poking and dies. There's the heat from the, I can't believe that didn't land. What I wanted to do there, actually, to be clear, was actually turn that Jaeger. I didn't want him killing any more of my teammates. And they had a Jaeger that's full health too, so they had a lot of hit point advantage on us at this point. What I'm doing is using the mobility and the crack speed boost, as Wheeler calls it, to just get mobility. There's no I mean, I got lots of hills and places to roam up here. I don't need to sit in a spot. I can play this more like a medium, and I guess that worked, or maybe my teammates helped. This Jaeger on my team also had a terrific game, and he's a solid player. He sat there and farmed him, and then the Jaeger that has full health, I was concerned about this. If he pushes to the top of the hill, he might be able to clear our Jaeger, and then we're in all kinds of trouble. So I wanted to get shots on him, and I also wanted to work on the other guys to frankly prevent them from moving up the hill. As long as we have the hill, we're in great shape. We've got myself with good gun depression. They have a one-shot Jaegeru. The other Jaegeru is in a weird position over there, which I knew I could actually go around if I needed to. And we're just kind of bleeding. It's a war of attrition here. We're just waiting on them. I did say I really wanted to pop the low HP Jaegeru, but didn't, because I would have gotten nuked in the process. So our IS-4 dies. No surprise there. The guy was a nub. And here comes the K91. Here I get, you know, this is where the battle, I don't think, really starts. I got a terrible RNG there, 374, should have cleared him. I honestly thought that might have been the game. And if these guys were better, it may very well have been. I had no business, you know, probably getting some of these upcoming shots. There's the IS-4. Obviously didn't take that shot, would have never, ever pinned. IS-4 was a 2-shot. I have 3 shots in my magazine, so the key here is make them count. 1 shot, tracked, again a low roll, thank you, RNGesus. I almost thought about shooting the Jaeger, and then I reminded myself that I have an atrocious reload here. I need to take advantage of it. Got to get this shell going. It gave me an opportunity to miss one if I needed to, so I took a lucky shot there. And now I knew I had to clear the K91 and just use heat to do it. And then I just look at 213 HP in the IS-4. I can use a heat to clear him with the lower plate. That was a very lucky shot, but it worked. Now the 2 Jaegerus on their team, I knew that they were idiots for pushing up that hill. If you commit to town, you commit to town. I mean, don't bring 2 Jaegerus up the hill. I was going to go to the right there, and Lek actually, who was has been watching this relatively long battle, helped me say no, go left, and he was exactly right. Popped that Jaegeru, and that was essentially the game. I was yelling at or not yelling, I was hitting attack, because our Jaegeru had plenty of hit points. He could take almost any roll from their Jaegeru, which is what I was hoping he would just go ahead and do. Just go ahead and charge him. I think I shanked my shot, and then he finishes him off there. So it was a good game. I had a lot of help from Lek in direction and strategy there, and a good overall match. 5,300 damage, 4 kills, 15+100 base damage. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please thumbs up the videos if you liked them, and thanks for watching. Thanks for coming to Nerf channel.